Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. I was going to take a break actually from building our train diorama, and then a friend of mine and viewer surprised me by was able to get me a boxcar from Ironside. This is kind of an old kit and been out of production for a long time, but I think it'll make a nice addition to our diorama. So let's get started on it. Okay, as we start this kit, I'm going to show you a few things on here. The kit has molded onto it these little witness marks on the inside. Unfortunately, they line up to absolutely nothing in the kit. So my advice to you is go ahead and just go and sand them completely off, because you're going to be gluing these parts on the inside here and then getting the bracing to go as well, and not even close to lining up to any of these, because I think they use this for other kits and it just didn't work properly. So save yourself a lot of time in the beginning and just go ahead and sand those off, and it'll stick fine to it anyway. I will point out though, the kit actually is fairly decently nice for its age. The wood is nicely molded, and there's not an abundance of parts, so I think we'll have no problem building this kit, and with a nice paint job on it, it'll look really good. I've decided to build the flat base of it this way to try to keep it as square as possible. The instructions on this kit are not very good, so you're gonna have to look, like I said, look ahead a little bit and try to figure out your next step, because if you aren't planning ahead at all, you might find that you won't be able to do the next step properly. So we're gonna get this all dried and squared up, and then we'll start putting the center bracing in. Gone ahead and assembled most of the brake system inside here. It's very tedious little work, as you saw a minute ago. Not impossible to do, just going to require a lot of tweezers and a lot of patience on that part. As you can see in these last couple of steps, the fit has been pretty good on all the upper surfaces. Now we will have to put this on, made it to the bottom. We'll see how well that fits. It's kind of unclear how they wanted you to build the upper and the lower. They kind of show it all in one page, but I thought it would probably be easier to build this together as the upper surface so we get it all nice and rigid. We're going to let this dry for about a half an hour or so it's nice and strong. I'm going to go over all the seams again with some more glue to make sure it's really, really tight, and then we're going to try to mate it to the bottom. Okay, I've gone ahead and I've glued a little piece of spline in here, and what that's going to do is that's going to keep this nice and flat so it doesn't pop or flex at all. And I've been going over the pieces quite a bit, trying to get it to mate to the frame. First of all, you're going to have to remove the locator marks on here. They don't line up again, and it's making it real difficult to put in. What I've decided to do though is I'm actually going to glue the floorboards directly into the box itself rather than try to glue it onto the car. Just looking at the overall look of it, I think it'll easily pop right in here, and then we'll be able to drop the entire box right on top of the frame of the car itself. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, the kit doesn't come with any grab handles or any of the upper bracing for the door. So they give you a little bit of wire right here, and you're expected to bend it up. Unfortunately, there's no instructions at all, and just a couple of guide holes. So I've kind of fabricated it based on what the box art looks like. So you'll have a grab handle here. This is a latch, and then there's the long wire across here that holds the door in place. So it was a little difficult putting that together, especially getting the grab handles to be exact right, you know, the perfect size to fit in the hole. But we got it going there, and we'll do a little sanding after they dry and do a little more cleanup on the actual kit itself. But we're going to work on the other side of the door, and I would show doing this, but I've got to be really, really close to it, and the camera's kind of in the way, so it's not too difficult. It's more time consuming than anything. So I'm going to do the other side, and then we're going to try to fit this whole thing onto the base. One other little trick I want to show you guys, I don't know if anyone are familiar with it or not. Anytime you have a little thin piece of plastic right here and you want to sand that little piece off, one little help is to take your flat edge tweezers and get that right up to the edge and then pinch it real hard, and then you can go across the top and you'll sand the piece off on top without flexing this, because if you were trying to sand this by itself, it flexes way too much. You end up breaking the piece. So just using your tweezers, just go across the top. You can see, hopefully see that little burr sticking out there, and just squeeze it really hard, support it a little bit with your fingers, and just go back and forth with it, and takes the top right off. Okay, we've got the box itself all built and ready to go here. And now the moment of truth to see if it fits on top of here. Looks like it's going to fit pretty well. Yep. Looks like it's going to fit okay. I'll put it up on its edge right here so you can kind of see. Yeah, so I'll put some glue on that, and then we'll work on the bumpers and the hitch. I wanted to show you guys, when you're going to glue the bottom and the top together, the easiest way I found is just by flipping the car over, and this way you can get this on here, put some pressure on it, and then glue all the framework down to keep it nice and sturdy and stiff. And last step we have to do is just glue on the bumpers and the hitch. I'm just making sure that they're nice and straight. And remembering that you have a flat one and a round one to put on each side. But I made these hinges work. Let's see if we can get it to plug back in here now. Yeah. Now we'll just do that on the other side, and then we can start painting. Okay, we've got all the build done on it now. Next part, of course, will be paint. I'll just point out to you a few things. The kit, the plastic, first of all, is very, very soft, so it's very easy to sand. It makes it a little bit difficult on gluing sometimes, because sometimes the glue doesn't want to grab immediately like some of the harder plastics do. But it wasn't very difficult to put together. A little bit of fit issues here and there, but it is a very old kit, so I wouldn't recommend it for a brand new modeler, but anyone who's been doing a few model kits should be able to work their way through it. Okay, I'm gonna take my track color, that red color that we mixed up a while ago, and we're gonna mist it on some of the lower portions to give it kind of a tarnished look before we put our final coat on. Okay, now we're going to take a little desert yellow. We're going to do a little dry brushing to make it as if the wood is coming through the paint. Starting off with the step boards here. Okay, now that we've done all of that with the dry brushing, we're going to take a little NATO black and start going over the bottom down here to highlight all the different parts of the springs and things like that. We're also going to go over and touch up anything that we got on the metal pieces here, because they wouldn't be turning brown with the wood color, so we're going to go ahead and do all of that right now. we're taking some Vallejo rain effect, and we're just lightly just going over some of the high areas, and it gives the effect that there was dust on the item at one point, and the rain came, kind of made all the dirt kind of pool in one, or right up against seams. But you really want to go very lightly with this because you can go overboard very easily on it, and you can just start to see it starts to pick up some of the highlights. It starts to give it a dirty effect. We're also going to do that all around on some of the edges and through here. Anything that would capture dirt and rainwater. And like I said, not too heavy on it, and we did a little bit down in through here as well on some of the springs. Okay, that's going to complete the amount of weathering we're going to do on it for now. Unfortunately, because the kit was so old, the decals just disintegrated. So I'm going to have to do something to get some decals to match what the rest of the train is having on it. It looks good with all marked up on it, but that won't be very hard to get a hold of. So that's it. In fact, I liked the rain effect so much on this one. I'm going to go ahead and do the rain effect on all the gondola and the locomotive over there, as well as some of the other flat cars too. Turns out pretty good. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much, and stay tuned because we have more models coming. Thank you.